Hello, Anointed Ones, and welcome to the Anointed TV channel. Thank you for tuning in to today's video, where we bring you the latest updates on some of the most talked about topics in the Christian world. Today, we have a never-before-heard update regarding Steve Lawson. For those who may not be aware, let's first go through a brief summary of the scandal that led to his disappearance from public ministry. Steve Lawson was once a highly regarded preacher within the Reformed evangelical circuit. He was frequently associated with John MacArthur's Grace Community Church, GCC, and Josh Buiss's G3 organization. Known for his powerful expository preaching, he was often presented as the gold standard for pulpit ministry. However, everything changed when it was revealed that Lawson had engaged in a 5-year relationship with a woman significantly younger than him, approximately the age of a granddaughter. This woman was not only an employee at the Grace Community Church bookstore, but also a former student of the Master's Seminary, where Lawson had served as dean. The revelation came to light when the woman's family pressured Lawson into confessing. Under the threat that they would go public themselves, he was forced to admit to the inappropriate relationship. Following his confession, Lawson disappeared from the public eye. Following the scandal, Grace Community Church distanced itself completely from Lawson. His sermons, articles, and materials were quietly erased from church and ministry websites. His former colleagues and associates severed ties with him, acting as if he had never been a part of their circles. During this period, more details about Lawson's role at Grace Community Church surfaced. It was revealed that he was never an elder or a pastor of the congregation. Unlike traditional pastors who shepherd their flocks by performing duties such as weddings and funerals, Lawson had insisted on only being a preacher. He held the title of lead preacher, but had no pastoral responsibilities, a decision that now seems questionable in light of recent events. One of the biggest questions surrounding this controversy is, why hasn't Steve Lawson made a public statement of repentance and remorse? According to a close friend who recently spoke with him, the reason for his silence is largely due to his counselors advising against it. They believe it is premature for him to issue a formal apology. The question then arises, do they know something we don't? Or are they waiting for time to heal the damage before making any moves? As of now, any institution, whether a church, ministry, or seminary, that associates with Lawson risks damaging its own reputation. He remains, for lack of a better term, radioactive in the evangelical world. So, where is Steve Lawson now? What has he been up to? One close friend, who was profoundly impacted by Lawson's ministry, reached out to him during this time. His response was sobering. He described his situation as a shipwreck. This word, drawn from 1 Timothy 1:19, speaks to the gravity of what has transpired. But what has happened since then? Where is Dr. Lawson now? And what is the real story behind the recent media reports? According to his close friend, Lawson has spent the past months in seclusion, reflecting on the events that led to his downfall. After months of silence, a recent conversation with Dr. Lawson sheds new light on his journey of repentance and restoration. Here are the key facts from that discussion. Lawson's relationship timeline. His acquaintance with the woman in question lasted approximately 5 years, but the relationship did not become sexual until very shortly before it was exposed. His immediate confession. Upon discovery, Lawson confessed his sin to his church elders and his family. Temporary relocation. He moved to Nashville to stay with his brother, a decision made in agreement with his church and family to allow time for healing and reflection. Daily accountability. He remains in close contact with spiritual counselors, specifically chosen by his leaders to guide him through this season. Ongoing family contact. Despite the painful situation, he has maintained communication with his wife and has visited Dallas at times, though not to attend his former church. Permanent disqualification from ministry. Dr. Lawson acknowledges that he is permanently disqualified from pastoral ministry. He has returned cash advances for book contracts and is considering secular employment. Repentance, not church discipline. Contrary to some reports, he is not under church discipline because he is not in a state of unrepentance. Rather, he has fully confessed and submitted to the rebuke of his elders, as per 1 Timothy 5:20. Unfortunately, not all reporting on this matter has been accurate or fair. A recent article, published by a controversial media outlet, has spread misleading information. The source of the story, a former PCA pastor, shared sensitive details in confidence, only to later realize they were being used for a biased and sensationalized report. To clarify, the pastor who spoke did not intend to cause harm and later expressed regret for how the information was used. The article misrepresented Lawson's repentance, implying a lack of remorse, which is simply not true based on first-hand accounts. Any institution that publicly supports Lawson risks backlash, which is why many have remained silent. Given the recent media coverage, is it time for Dr. Lawson to break his silence? His close friend has offered to conduct an interview, either in writing or via video, to allow Lawson to share his heart. However, this will only happen if his counselors, family, and church leadership agree that it is wise and appropriate. While we may feel entitled to an explanation, the truth is that repentance takes time. Many are watching to see whether Lawson's actions will align with his words. As of now, his counselors advise patience, believing that his repentance should be proven through his life rather than a premature public statement. This story is a sobering reminder of the devastating effects of sin, but also of the power of true repentance. As believers, we must hold our leaders accountable, but we must also extend grace where it is due. It also raises serious questions about accountability in church leadership. When a preacher falls from grace, should their past work still be valued? Should they ever be allowed to return to ministry? And most importantly, how does the Christian community balance justice, mercy, and restoration in such cases? What do you think? Should Dr. Lawson speak publicly, or should he continue his journey of private repentance? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Steve Lawson will, or should, make a return to public ministry? Let us know your perspective. As always, thank you for watching Anointed TV. Stay blessed, and we'll see you in the next video.